Hi, and welcome to Daily Spiritual Thought. And today's title is Own Up to Your Weaknesses. Today, it's about an exciting topic which many people would like to ignore or conceal, and that's precisely what causes it to become a target again and again. It's about one's own weaknesses. Because whenever we try to resist what is part of our life, in this case, the acceptance of our weaknesses, we're always pointed out by our environment. We become irritated by it. And therefore, we should recognize first what weaknesses mean to us, and second, how do I best deal with them? Because weaknesses are nothing more than pointers. On the one hand, what you could still bring to unfold, and on the other hand, the indication that it's not the area that is intended for your life task or is decisive. And then we should accept that because we can always find out that there is no perfect person. Everything has two sides. There are day and night, cold and warm, and weaknesses and strengths. You have strength, and on the other hand, you also have one or further weaknesses. The crucial thing is to recognize when we have a weakness, not to reduce ourselves to being small because of it. They are simply there. They belong to us. And it's always easier to accept them when you realize that there's probably no human being on this planet who has no weaknesses. And that is also good. It shows us one thing. We are all differently aligned according to our life tasks. You may have strengths that aren't at all relevant to your best friend's mission in life, and he may have his weaknesses where you have your strength, and vice versa. The question is only how we deal with the supposed weakness. We should accept it, because from that moment on, we're also resistant to attacks from outside. Nobody can use our own weakness against us anymore. The mass of people who have no idea of the concrete task of life or how our energy system in the body works, how we are energetically connected with each other, and above that, we are creative beings. Therefore, most people only fall for the visible and always like to find out that others have weaknesses, just to feel a little bit better because of it. What matters is how we deal with our weaknesses, especially when someone points them out to us. If you were to ask yourself if you had more strength or weaknesses and write them down, you might first come up with more weaknesses, which wouldn't be surprising, but it does not correspond to reality. You might come up with more weaknesses because they are pointed out to you more often. According to the motto, everything you do well is normal and not worth mentioning. But if you show a weakness, the majority of people feel compelled to point it out. And the more often we have experienced this, the weaker we feel. You can see it in the fact that when someone points out a supposed weakness to you, you get upset. It still bothers you afterward. Then you should stop it immediately because you can only feel hurt if you blame yourself for the weakness. The easiest way to do this is to learn to accept your mistakes and weaknesses as they are. If others point them out to you, you can deal with the situation in a relaxed way by clearly acknowledging them and saying, for example, "You're right, I'm only human." And then you will notice one thing. If you no longer create resistance, no longer get upset, you no longer give others a reason to point it out to you. They are subconsciously happy that they can irritate you. But if you play along, it's unattractive. You literally take the wind out of their sails. Then you're immune to any attacks from the outside. Pressure always creates counter pressure. Through such hints from others, you recognize what opinion someone has of you, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with you. It's just someone else's opinion. But it could be an important clue for you. Why? Nature is energy efficient, and you have 100% energy. So, are you better directing your energy to your weaknesses or your strength? Of course, on the strength, to bring your strength better and better to development. Don't waste energy on unimportant areas in your being, but focus on your strength. They are important for your life's task. You can devote yourself to your supposed weaknesses when you have free time, but it's not mandatory. And every person around you, even if he or she likes to present himself or herself differently, has his or her own weaknesses. Whenever someone points out a weakness to you, stay confident, acknowledge it if necessary, because you know it's not important. Or maybe it is. People who seem strong, we admire. But feel in which people you fell in love with and why. It was always the weaknesses that we found so cute in others. Am I right? Just stay relaxed and accept yourself as you are, because you are unique and wonderful. For now, this is Andreas from Daily Spiritual Thought. Have a wonderful time. Thanks a lot for listening, and God bless.